Colorado High School Activities Association Baseball is on Morgan County's B106, B106.com, and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. This morning from Severance High School, it's for first place in the Longs Peak League as the visiting Fort Morgan Mustangs take on the Severance Silver Knights. I'm John Beltran. The Mustangs are coming off a rather dramatic 4-3 victory over Thompson Valley on Thursday. Severance has won 5 in a row. They looked sluggish early in the year, losing to Berthoud 13-1. And they also fell to Roosevelt in a one-sided game, actually 13-2 to Berthoud and 13-0 to Roosevelt. But since the loss to Roosevelt, their pitching has been great. Well, they beat Mountain View 9-8, but then 15-0 over Frederick, 4-0 over Niwot. They beat Berthoud 11-0, avenging that earlier regular season loss, and then beat Riverdale Ridge by a score of 13-5. So the Mustangs are facing a team that has won 5 in a row. Now, let's get to the starting lineup. For Fort Morgan, batting first is the pitcher Briggs Wheatley. The catcher Jackson Langford is second. The shortstop Nick Beltran's the third hitter. Jesse Campa, the first baseman, it's fourth. Braden Fajardo, the second baseman, it's fifth. Batting sixth is the center fielder K.O. Langford. Malachi Bills, the left fielder, hits seventh. Frank Ortega, third, hits eighth. And Colin Farley, the DH, is batting ninth. Defensively, Dylan Jost at first. The second baseman is Austin Neely. At third is Nolan Hertzke. The shortstop is Caden Panas. In left field is Ryan Awoniak. The center fielder for Severance is Cameron Christensen. Over and right is Bryson Ferris. Behind the mound, or behind the plate, I should say, is Joe Tamburo. On the mound is right-hander Carson Fagan. And he's had a good season here so far for Severance. We'll run down the numbers. Severance in their white pinstripe uniforms, and they're going with their best today, as is Fort Morgan with Briggs Wheatley. Fagan is 4-0 with a .93 ERA in 22 2/3 innings. Has struck out 41 and walked just 6. Opening pitch of the game is brought to you by High Plains Bank, your friendly local community bank, serving Wiggins and all surrounding areas. High Plains Bank. And the pitch to Wheatley. And that pitch is low. Took something off at 1 ball and no strikes. Game time temperature here in Severance is 64 degrees, the offering. And that is on the outside corner, tailing away. And the count levels at 1-1 to Briggs Wheatley. Wheatley had a couple of clutch hits, including the game-winning 2-run single against Thompson Valley. And that tails up and away. Ball 2, strike 1. Langford and Beltran are waiting to hit. Right after the Mustang starting pitcher, the offering, swung on a foul to the screen. Count moves to 2-2. The Mustangs in their road grays this morning. Fagan, the right-hander, gets the sign from Tamburo. And the pitch, and that's down and in. Yeah, the one thing you want to do with a pitcher this good is to just use up that pitch count. 3 balls and 2 strikes, and that's what Wheatley's doing. This will be the 6th pitch of the plate appearance. The pitch swung on and driven into the left center field gap. That's going to go all the way towards the fence as it gets over the head of Awoniak, and around first is Wheatley into second with a leadoff double. And that thing was tagged beautifully by Wheatley. Here's Jackson Langford. Wheatley came into the game with a .306 average. That's going to go up, and here with Langford, he is batting .333. We'll get the early run. That's Fort Morgan, what they're yearning for right now. Don't waste this opportunity. That's happened too many times this year. The pitch, swinging a foul tip into the glove of Tamburo. No balls and 1 strike. Jackson's got a big area the other way if he can exploit it. 0-1 here with a runner at second off the Wheatley double. Squaring to bunt, he takes it for a strike at the knees. No balls and 2 strikes. They don't have listed dimensions here in Severance. Fagan gets a sign. And the 0-2. Swung on and grounded Wheatley to short, and Wheatley's going to advance. The play is going to be not made because the ball was hit so slowly, and Panis had to eat it. It's an infield hit for Jackson Langford. Good start for the Mustangs at first and third with nobody out for Beltran, hitting .355. Now you really got to take advantage of this opportunity, especially against a pitcher of this quality. Here's the stretch and the offering, and that's a strike on the outside corner. No balls and one strike. Followed by Jesse Campa. Jackson did not hit it hard, but in the perfect spot. Off of third is Wheatley. Jackson Langford at first. 0-1 to Beltran. And the pitch, swing and a miss very late on that fastball. It's 0-2. He's got to swing a lot earlier than that. No balls and two strikes. And shorten up the swing. Fagan's got Beltran in a pitcher's count. And the 0-2 offering. And he fouled it off. That ball tailing towards the outside corner got a piece of it. It remains at 0-2. Wheatley began the game with a double. Langford with an infield single. You got the heart of the order now. But Beltran with a no-ball, two-strike count with nobody out here. Fagan at the chest. The pitch, swinging a foul. One with a fastball again, trying to get the strikeout here. It remains at 0-2. At some point, he's going to come with a hook here. You would figure. Beltran just trying to stay alive in the at-bat. No balls, two strikes. And the offering. And that breaking ball is off the glove of the catcher. Here comes Wheatley. He will score. And Jackson Langford to second. And the Mustangs lead 1-0 in the first inning. On the wild pitch from Fagan. That's a rare run that he's given up this season, considering the .93 ERA going in. Looking for more here. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Tamburo lays down the sign. And the pitch. Swing and a foul. And again, the one thing, even if he doesn't get on base, he's using up the pitch count. That's already 15 pitches for Fagan. He's yet to record an out. Yeah, if you can get him past 20 pitches in this inning, that's a good start for Fort Morgan, regardless of whether they score again. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And the offering. Swing and a foul. Right off his foot on a breaking ball. An extended at bat for Beltran. This will be the 8th pitch of the plate appearance. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 on, nobody out. 1-0 Fort Morgan, top of the first inning. The pitch swung on and lifted down the left side, and that is twisting foul and out of play. This is a tremendous plate appearance. He has seen 7 strikes and 1 ball and is just fighting to extend the at-bat. Still 1 ball and 2 strikes. Here to shortstop Nick Beltran. 1-0 Fort Morgan. Wheatley with a double. Langford with a single, and a wild pitch scored the run. Fagan looks for the sign. At the belt. And the pitch. And that ball nearly hit him. Right around the ankles. It's 2-2. Yet another pitch in this sequence. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The offering. Swing and a miss on a fastball tailing away, and he strikes out. And there's 1 down. 1 down here for Jesse Campa. But that was already the 19th pitch of the opening inning for Fagan. The stretch. And the offering. And that's a fastball down the middle. That is for a strike. It's 0-1. No balls and 1 strike. Campa going in, hitting .226. And the offering down and away. And the count levels at 1-1. to Jesse Campa. The Mustangs as a team hitting .287 going in. The stretch and the offering. Swung on and lifted foul off to the right side. Count moves to 1-2. Premier Farm Credit understands production ag. They've been serving our rural communities for over 100 years in Sterling, Fort Morgan, Yuma, and Holyoke. Premier Farm Credit. Yeah, this is already a successful inning, not only because the Mustangs have scored, but the extended pitch count here. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Campa. And the offering. Swung on and fouled on the breaking ball off the catcher. It remains at 1-2. Langford at second. He had an infield hit, advanced to second in a wild pitch, which scored Wheatley. Looking back, about a 4-step lead. And the offering. And that's up and away. Count now levels at 2-2 to Jesse Campa. The scoreboard is lit, but there's nothing on it. Just a bunch of zeros. And the pitch. And the breaking ball's inside. Just missed. 3-2. Boy, if they can get him to 30 pitches, that would be something. He's at 25 already. That's could be part of the story of this game. This is the ace for Severance, Carson Fagan. And the 3-2 pitch. Swung on and fouled on a pitch up in the zone. Count remains at 3-2. This is exactly what Fort Morgan wanted. Get on the board early and get to the bullpen as quickly as you can, even though we're still a few innings away, more than likely, from that happening. 3-2 pitch, and that is a called strike 3 on the inside corner. Took something off it. Campa strikes out. There's 2 down. That'll send up Braden Fajardo. Well, that's a clutch pitch there by Fagan. Let's check out Fajardo's numbers. Batting 200. The stretch. Langford remains at second, and the pitch. Swung on and fisted foul towards the Mustang dugout on the first base side. No balls and 1 strike. Yeah, Fagan now knows is that he's going to have to retire several Mustangs in order in succeeding innings. The stretch and the offering. Swung on and grounded right side. Should be a routine play for the first baseman. Jostin, he bobbles it, then steps in the bag for the out. And that ends this half inning. That was nearly trouble over there for Dylan Jost. Was able to make the play, though, on pitch number 29 from Carson Fagan. The Mustangs do get a run. And they do it on 2 base hits. There were no errors and a man left as we head to the bottom of the first inning. Fort Morgan 1. And Severance coming to bat on B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. The Mustangs got a run in the first inning against Carson Fagan. Here's a starting lineup for Severance. Cameron Christensen bats first. Joe Tamburo, the second hitter. Fagan bats third. Nolan Hertzke, the third baseman, is the cleanup hitter. Bryson Ferris hits fifth. Dylan Joe sixth. Austin Neely hits seventh. Caden Panis hits eighth. And Ryan Owuniuk is the ninth hitter for the Mustangs defensively. Jesse Campa's at first. The second baseman is Braden Fajardo. Frank Ortega third. Nick Beltran is in between him at short. Malachi Bills in left. The center fielder is Cale Langford, and right is Levi McCoy. Jackson Langford behind the plate. And Briggs Wheatley, the left-hander, with a pitch. And that is on the outside corner for a strike. To the right-handed hitting Cameron Christensen. Severance looking for their sixth straight victory, and the breaking ball is outside. Christensen batting .400. Solid leadoff hitter for this team. The left-hander with a 1-1, and the breaking ball is a little bit high. 2 balls and 1 strike. Wheatley's pitched well this year. The ERA, well, gets it in a second. Swung on and fouled. Ooh, toward the third base dugout. Watch out over there. Count is at 2-2. Here to the opening hitter, Cameron Christensen. Wheatley with an ERA of 2.47. The pitch swung on and lifted down the right field line. That's going to be trouble, and that ball's going to drop for a base hit inside the line, and the throw's going to be made quickly back in there. If not, that could have been a double on that 2-2 pitch, but nice play by McCoy. And Christensen leads off the bottom of the first with a base hit. Here is Joe Tamburo. Nice job on the inside outswing. Tamburo hitting .393. The Mustangs at double play depth. With a man at first. The pitch. Fastball is upstairs. 1 ball and no strikes. Here to Tamburo. 1-0 Fort Morgan in the bottom of the first inning. And the offering. Swung on and lifted foul. Now to play off to the right. Count moves to 1-1. Severance is 15th in the RPI in 4A. Fort Morgan is 20th. A huge game for both teams. And the winner goes to 7-1 in the Longs Peak. The pitch. And a check swing. Did he go? And that's going to be a pass ball. And it's going to be ball 2. As the ball got away to second is Christensen. So already Severance threatening to tie this game. With nobody out in the bottom of the first inning. And the pitch. That's up and in. 3-1. And the pitcher, Carson Fagan, is on deck. Wheatley comes home, down and in, and it should be a walk. No? Unless the count is at 3-2. Yeah, it's a walk. I don't know what Tamburo was doing. Unaware of the count. So he's on. First and second, nobody out here for Fagan. Fagan hitting .333. And he's driven in 7. Watch out, the team leader in RBIs is on deck, and Hertzke is driven in 15. Whaley looking back. The pitch. Breaking ball's a strike down the middle. It's 0-1. Here to Carson Fagan. At second is Christensen. Tamburo, the catcher, at first. And the offering. Swung on and lifted foul. Now to play off to the left. Came in with a fastball, giving chase there is Malachi Bills, but nowhere near. Well out of play. It's 0-2. Well, let's see if Fort Morgan's defense shows up. They've been pretty good this year. Certainly not an A, but nothing below average either. No balls and 2 strikes. Wheatley comes home. Up and away with a heater. 1-2. Even Briggs' pitch count's going to be up there after 1. He's got 12 pitches, and nobody retired as of yet. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And the offering. Curveball is just a little bit outside. Good pitch. Just missed. 2-2. Here to Carson Fagan. Oh, that was close, but he did miss. Runners take their leads. Whaley looks back. And he steps off. Two balls, 2 strikes to the number 3 hitter, Carson Fagan. The pitch swung on and lifted in foul territory, right side. Campo, does he have room? He does make the catch right up against the fence. Jesse Campo with an excellent play. There's 1 down. And here comes Nolan Hertzke. Driven in 15 runs, as I mentioned, batting .500. So this is definitely the best hitter on the team, at least average-wise. The Mustangs at double play depth trying to end this threat. They lead 1-0 in the bottom of the first inning in Severance. Runners off of first and second. And the offering. And the breaking ball must have been high. This kid's not a short hitter. He is not short. 1 ball and no strikes. He stands over 6 feet, I would think, easily. And the pitch. And that's inside. Runner goes to third, a low throw and the tag, and nope, the ball's off the chest of Ortega, so it's a stolen base. And it's 2-0. A good throw would have had him. Good throw definitely gets him, there's no doubt. So Christensen has the steal. And it's 2-0 here to Nolan Hersky. The trail runner's Tamburo. Stretched by Wheatley. The pitch swung on and fouled towards the third base dugout occupied by Severance. Ball 2, strike 1. Well, these guys pull the ball pretty well. We've just seen even these foul balls that have been hit. Briggs has really got to jam these hitters or do something. Throw back to first and a soft toss there. Tamburo back in. We're in the bottom of the first inning, a 1-0 lead for Fort Morgan. But Severance is a man 90 feet away. The pitch swung on and driven in the air into right center field. McCoy's going back, still going back, ranges under it, makes the one-handed catch. Tagging up is Christensen. He'll score on the sac fly by Hersky, a 16th run batted in, and the game is tied at 1. And now with 2 down, that'll send up Bryson Ferris. Ferris hitting .367. Severance as a team is batting .319. About 32 points better than Fort Morgan going into this game. Throw back to first and nothing doing. Well, this is the type of game you expected, even at the very beginning. The stretch and the offering. Up and away with a fastball. 1 ball and no strikes. A base hit and a walk. There was a stolen base in there. Then the sac fly plated the run. The offering, very high. 2-0. Here to Bryson Ferris. Langford lays down the sign. And the pitch. Up and in. 3 balls and no strikes. Right now, Briggs is trying to find the strike zone. And certainly having an issue now. Let's see if he grooves one in there, the pitch. That's right there for a strike on the outer half. It's 3-1. Briggs so far has thrown just 10 strikes and 12 balls. 3 balls and 1 strike. And the offering. Swung on line. That's a base hit into right field. McCoy to his left. He'll flag it down. And Tamburo to third. That throw is going to go over the shortstop. And now the ball gets away. And backed up by Wheatley. But with that throw, that advanced the hitter. Second and third. Not the baseball the Mustangs want to play defensively. And Dylan Jost has an opportunity to give Severance the lead, as he will now step in. So here we go with a right-handed hitting Jost. The pitch upstairs. Both teams have 2 hits in the opening inning. 1 ball and no strikes. Long first inning on both sides. The offering swung on, popped up into shallow center field. Langford is coming on to his left, and he's going to make the one-handed grab, and that'll do it for Severance here in the bottom of the first inning. A run on 2 hits as they strand a couple of runners. Mustang Baseball is brought to you in part by Stubbs Gas and Oil. The score, Fort Morgan 1, Severance 1 on B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. John Beltran back in Severance. It's 1-1. Let's head to the second inning with the Mustangs sending up Cale Langford, Malachi Bills, and Frank Ortega. The right-hander Carson Fagan did throw 29 pitches in the opening inning. Langford hitting .333 coming into this game. Yeah, Fagan now realizes he's got to throw about a 10 to 12 pitch inning to be back on par here. And the pitch down and away. 1 ball and no strikes. A sac fly by Hertzke for Severance. A wild pitch by Fagan scored Wheatley, who doubled to lead off the game. And the offering. And that's low and away again. 2 balls and no strikes. Here to Cale Langford, who leads the team in walks, by the way. So his on-base percentage is pretty solid. 2-0. That is on the inside corner for a strike. He's got that tailing fastball that hitters really have to adjust to. That struck out Campa on that pitch. And Beltran, it was tailing away from him. And the 2-1. Swung on and lined on one hop. A short hop back to the pitcher. Fisted out there. And Fagan throws out Langford. There's one down in the second. Again, you got to pull that pitch as much as possible, but he's coming in with it. Here is Malachi Bills, the team's leading hitter, at .415. He's been red hot lately. 3 for 3 against Thompson Valley in the 4-3 victory. And Fagan comes home. Swung on, grounded up the middle, and to his right, the second baseman fires to first in time and retired his Bills by Austin Neely. Well, this is exactly what Fagan wanted. Potentially a quick inning. Here's Frank Ortega, batting .161. After 29 pitches in the first, Fagan has thrown just 5 here in the second. The pitch. It's a fastball for a strike at the knees. No balls and 1 strike. Ortega waits. And the offering. That's in the dirt. Scooped up by Tamburo. Count levels at 1-1 to the Mustang. Third baseman Frank Ortega, Jr. And the pitch. Swung on and lifted into deep left field. That's got major carry to it towards the fence, and that is gone. It's a home run. Frank Ortega on a 1-1 pitch has deposited the baseball over the left field fence, and the Mustangs in the second lead by a score of 2-1. And Frank needed that big time. That thing was tattooed. What a swing there by Ortega, scuffling all year at the plate. And Fagan, who came in with a .93 ERA, has given up 2 runs. And here is Colin Farley. Colin, despite being in the 9 holes, hit well this year. Swung on and fouled on a tailing fastball to the screen. No balls and 1 strike. Farley's average has gone down of late, hitting .250, but he had some clutch ribbies early on. Fagan looks in. And the offering. And the bender is in the dirt. 1 ball and 1 strike. Here to Colin Farley. The junior DH awaits the pitch. And a late swing on that one. And he swung over the pitch. It's 1-2. I think he was looking for breaking ball there. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And Fagan comes home. Swung on, line, base hit into center field on a hanger. Colin Farley's come up with Fort Morgan's 4th hit as he laced that one back up the middle. Here is Briggs Wheatley, who doubled in his first plate appearance. Let's see if Briggs stays hot. He doubled and scored. Fort Morgan has come out swinging here after 2 are down. The pitch, swinging a foul to the backstop. No balls and 1 strike. Here to Briggs Wheatley. 2-1 Fort Morgan, top of the second inning. They've generated some 2-out thunder here. Off of first is Farley. And the pitch. Swung on. That ball is laced into right field for a base hit. Farley's going to round second. He's going to head for third with no throw. Farley's in there sliding. And Briggs Wheatley is 2 for 2. And again, if anything, they've extended the inning. That's Fort Morgan's 3rd hit of the inning, 3rd in a row. That'll send up Jackson Langford, a conversation on the hill. And again, that extends the pitch count here for Fagan. He's over 40 pitches and not out of the second yet. And Colorado High School rules 110 pitches maximum with 3 days rest. You can go slightly over the 110 if you start under 110 to the next hitter. But once you go over that number, then that's it. They've got to take you out. And that's one of the goals of Fort Morgan in this game, to get to the starter early. And Langford, who had an infield single, will step in after the conversation breaks up. With the Mustangs up 2-1 in the second inning on the visiting side. Here in Severance. Beautiful school here. Gorgeous facility. So here's Jackson. Looking to extend the lead for Fort Morgan. Farley at third, Wheatley at first. 3 hits in a row with 2 down. The pitch, low and away, off the glove, and now Wheatley will take off for second on the pass ball. 1 ball and no strikes. A base hit could make it 4-1. A long one could make it 5-1. Out of the windup with runners in scoring position. The offering, that's down and away. It's 2-0 with Nick Beltran on deck. 2 balls and no strikes. He's got to come in with one here. Langford awaits, and that's low. It's 3-0. Well, 17 pitches deep in this inning now, approaching 50 in the game. 3-0 to Langford. And the offering, that is right there on the inner half for a strike. 3 balls and 1 strike. To Jackson Langford. Farley at third, Wheatley at second. 3 balls, 1 strike. And the pitch, that's outside. It's a walk. And Beltran, who struck out his first time up, will be up there with the bases loaded. Well, undoubtedly a big at-bat for him. A huge at-bat for him. Knows what he has to do right now with the bases loaded and 2 down. 4 straight have reached. Righty against lefty. And the pitch. That is a strike at the knees on the outer half. It's 0-1. No balls and 1 strike. Here to Beltran. 2-1 in the second. And the offering. Swung on in line towards center field, and that's going to be caught. Oh, well hit ball by Beltran, but caught in the right center field gap by Cameron Christensen, and that ends the Fort Morgan threat. Here in the second inning, Frank Ortega hit a home run. They had 3 hits in the inning. Unfortunately for Fort Morgan, the bases were left loaded. An inning and a half complete. It is Fort Morgan 2, Severance 1 on B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. The Mustangs lead the Severance Silver Knights 2-1 heading to the bottom of the second inning. I'm John Beltran back in Severance. Frank Ortega homered with 2 outs. The Mustangs ended 3 on base, but Beltran hit a 1-0 liner to center that was flagged down, and that ends the threat. But Fort Morgan with 5 hits off Carson Fagan. It'll be the 7, 8, and 9 hitters, Austin Neely, Caden Panis, and Ryan Uwuniuk against left-hander Briggs Wheatley. Austin Neely comes in hitting 143 from the right side. Uwuniuk, by the way, 1,000, but has only had a plate appearance, and he's in the 9-hole. He's 2 doors down. Line in the pitch. Swing and a miss. Took something off it. It's 0-1. To Austin Neely. Wheatley ready. The offering. Curveball is lifted to deep left field and going back, and still going back is Bills, and he reaches out and makes the catch. Ball was struck nicely by Neely, but there's 1 down. 1 down here for shortstop Panis, hitting 160. Again, game time temp at 64 degrees. It's not going to warm up too much, but bright sunshine out here as opposed to Fort Morgan. Very hazy back in Fort Morgan. The pitch swung on line, and that is, dropped by the second baseman, Beltran. He misread the spin. That'll be an error. He misread the top spin and closed the glove too early. The Mustangs have committed an error here on that liner. Beltran misread it completely off the end of the bat. His second error of the season. He's been pretty solid there at short, but not on that play. Here's Awoniak, the pitch. That's a strike. Took something off it. It's 0-1. No balls and one strike. At first with one out and one on. The offering. Squaring to bunt. Lays it up the first base side. Barehanded by Wheatley. Throw to first. 2 down. Sacrifice goes 1-3. Back to the top of the order. That's what you don't want if you're Fort Morgan. Cameron Christensen singled and scored. As he steps in for the right side, and the breaking ball is fouled towards the third base dugout. It's 0-1. No balls and one strike. Wheatley trying to overcome the air by the senior shortstop Beltran. The stretch and the pitch, and that fastball is upstairs. The count levels at 1-1. With 2 down and 1 on in the bottom of the second, Fort Morgan leads Severance 2-1. Briggs Wheatley looks back, looks in, and the pitch. Fastball is above the letters. It's ball 2, strike 1. Maybe at the letters, but it was called a ball anyway. And if Jack catches that ball standing, then that makes it look even higher. The pitch, curveball is a strike on the outer half, thigh high. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Cameron Christensen. The lead at second for Panis. The pitch, up and away. Overthrew that one, 35th pitch for Wheatley. It is 3-2. Fort Morgan has critical games next week at home against Northridge, who they lost to begin the season, at Holy Family on Thursday, and Greeley West at home next week. The pitch, and that's up and away. It's a walk on a breaking ball on a 3-2, and that'll send up Joe Tamburo. He walked his first time up. Second walk for Wheatley. Yeah, you want to get Briggs to at least 5 here. At least 5, then take your chances with a bullpen. With a 2-1 Fort Morgan lead in the bottom of the second inning. Or at least you've got a situation with a force right now at any base. The stretch. Looking back. The pitch. Up and away. He's not turning that curve over at all. 1 ball and no strikes. B&B Appliance and Repair, from refrigerators to vacuums, everything in between. They have exactly what you need in service at 2. B&B Appliance and Repair. Coach Langford is out for a conversation with Wheatley. With a 1 ball, no strike count. The Mustangs with a 2-1 lead. Wheatley's done the job at the plate with 2 base hits, 2 of Fort Morgan's 5 hits. Severance has been limited to 2 hits, but they had a base runner here on Beltran's error earlier in this inning. Conversation concludes quickly. Here we go. 1-0 to Joe Tamburo, the catcher, hitting for the right side. Off of second is Panis. Christensen at first. Big pitch early in the count is coming up here for Fort Morgan. 1-0. That's a fastball, a strike. Ooh, that got the extreme edge of the inside corner. On a tailing fastball, it's 1-1. Fajardo cheating towards second in the bag. The pitch. And that looks pretty good from here. That's called a ball, though. I mean, I don't know where that pitch is. It must be a tad high. Well, this is going to be a low strike zone, that's for sure. 2 balls and 1 strike. A little bit of a hitter's count right now. 2-1. The offering. Swing and a miss. Took something off of that. It's 2-2. Let's see if you can put them away right now and get back to the dugout with a 2-1 lead. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The pitch swung on, popped up. The first baseman, Campa, in shallow right field. Somebody's got to call for it. He makes the catch. Campa got the proper angle there, and they overcome the error on the shortstop, Nick Beltran, as Severance strands 2 on the base paths. Mustang Baseball is brought to you in part by Bank of Colorado. 2 complete on a Saturday morning in Severance. The score, Fort Morgan 2, Severance 1 on B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Top of the 3rd inning in Severance, Fort Morgan 2, Severance 1. 4, 5, and 6 hitters for the Mustangs. Jesse Campa, who struck out his first time, followed by Braden Fajardo and Cale Langford against right-hander Carson Fagan, who's thrown exactly 50 pitches in the game. Came in with a .93 ERA. And again, he needs a 10 to 12 pitch inning to get back on track. If not, he's not going to make it through the 5th or 6th. Wind and pitch. Breaking ball is lined towards left field, and that one is going to sail over the left fielder's head. Campa's around first. Jesse Campa headed for second with a leadoff double. Fort Morgan's 6th hit. Woniak had no shot there on that hanging breaking ball. Here's Fajardo, who grounded to first his first time up. Nice swing there by Campa. And the Mustang sticks, which have been slow to begin most games, even though they've only got 2 runs, but they do have the 6 base knocks, including 2 doubles and a home run by Frank Ortega. The pitch swung on and fouled off to the right with a tailing fastball. No balls and 1 strike. The Mustangs with a run in each of the first 2 innings, looking to add to the lead after the leadoff double by Campa. The pitch, swing and a miss and a ball in the dirt. Fajardo did not see that out of the pitcher's hand. That's a swing at what he thought was a fastball. It's 0-2. No balls and 2 strikes. Make some contact on the right side. Advance the runner, the pitch. Breaking ball down and away off the glove of the catcher Tamburo, and Campa to third. Well, that's a break for the Mustangs there. The infield is still going to play back to try and get the out, but a ground ball would extend the lead. Let's see, now they're coming in a bit. Looks like they're playing halfway. 1-2. Wind and pitch. Swung on, grounded left side. It's going to score. Campa, backhanded stop. The throw to first is going to be offline. It's a base hit. That'll be scored, a base hit on the backhanded stab over there by the shortstop, Caden Panis. Fort Morgan leads 3-1. Yeah, difficult play. Went to a knee. And with the infield playing in, that's what makes it difficult. You don't have the range that you would if you're playing back. Cale Langford hit that fister, a one-hopper to the pitcher his first time up. 3-1 Fort Morgan. The pitch, squaring to bunt, and he fouls it straight back. That pitch was up in the zone. No balls and 1 strike. Here to Cale Langford. And again, Fort Morgan has scored for the 3rd straight inning. But they know against this team, Severance has put together a 5-game winning streak. They got to keep going. 1-step lead for Fajardo. Langford awaits. The pitch. Curveball is swung on, grounded to short, to second for 1, and back to first, and that's going to be late. A good throw, and it was going to be a bang-bang play, a little bit high. Panis to Neely. And there's 1 down. 1 down here for Malachi Bills, who grounded to second his first time up. The leading hitter for Fort Morgan going in at 4:15. Well, Cale's got major speed. 3-step lead over there, the stretch. And the offering. Swung on and lifted foul. Had a play off to the right on that fastball that jammed Bills. No balls and 1 strike. Pitch count is now sitting at 58 for Fagan. Not too bad in this inning, only 8 pitches so far. Throw back to first, back in diving is Langford. And we'll see. They'll test the arm here of Tamburo. Fagan's got a pretty quick move to the plate. 0-1. The pitch. Swing and a miss on a ball that skips away. Langford didn't read it, but now does. Again, he did the same thing Fajardo did, swinging at a pitch in the dirt. And it's 0-2, the wild pitch. Advances the runner. And Fagan's had issue with wild pitches in this game. That is his third. No balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, 1 on, 1 in. 3-1 Fort Morgan leads Severance. In the top of inning number 3. Langford off of second. The pitch. Swing and a miss on a breaking ball tailing away. Not a good at bat there for Bills, and there's 2 down. Here is Frank Ortega, who drilled a solo home run with 2 outs and nobody on. Obviously a solo with nobody on in the top of the second inning. But again, he's got a man in scoring position. The stretch. Pitch to Frank. Swing and a miss on a breaking ball. No balls and 1 strike. If Fagan's not going to give in like he did with a fastball the other time, he's developing a different pitching pattern here. 0-1. And the offering. That's in the dirt. Count levels at 1 ball and 1 strike. More than halfway to 110 is Fagan, but he's not more than halfway innings-wise. That's why extending the pitch count is huge. 1 ball, 1 strike. The pitch swung on and driven in the air into shallow center field, and that's going to be caught. And that will end the inning, but the Mustangs pick up another run. And they lead after 2.5 innings in Severance. By a score of 3-1, Mustang Baseball is brought to you in part by High Plains Bank. Once again, Fort Morgan 3, Severance 1 on B106, B106.com, and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Fort Morgan 3, Severance 1. Let's head to the bottom of the 3rd inning. It'll be the 3, 4, and 5 hitters, the heart of the order for Severance: Carson Fagan, Nolan Hertzke, and Bryson Ferris against Briggs Wheatley, 41 pitches deep. And again, this team hitting well over 300 going into the game. Oh, and Nick Beltran is now going to take the mound. Wind and pitch. Swung on and grounded left side. The third baseman, Campa, throws to first, a little bit high for the out. So Wheatley might have an injury. Let's see, Wheatley could be hurt. He's now in center field. So changes for Fort Morgan. Frank Ortega now at short. Yeah, that could be due to injury. 1 out here for Hertzke. Wine in the offering. And that is a strike on the outside corner with a changeup. No balls and 1 strike. Hertzke with a sac fly his first time up. And the offering. Swung on and chopped to third. Campa comes in to his left. Fires to first high. And that's going to be a bad throw, and that's going to advance the hitter to second. You can't make those plays. I mean, if Fort Morgan wants to win, that's a terrible throw by Campa on a routine play. All that does is extend an inning. Should have been 2 down and nobody on, and now Beltran's got to pitch out of the stretch here with Ferris stepping in, and Fort Morgan has committed their 2nd error of the game. Yeah, it's just frustrating. I mean, this is already the 11th game of the season. That's a routine throw. And he airmailed Malachi Bills. The stretch. And the offering. And that's a strike. Took something off at Ferris. Singled his first time up. Yeah, again, I mean, you got to make the plays to win the game. And the offering. Swung on, that's chopped to third, and Campa's got it, to a knee, throws to first, and that's offline! Oh my gosh, that might score the run here, and rounding third, and that will score the run, and that throw gets away. There's no backup there. That's going to be 2 errors on the play. 1 on Campa, 1 on Bills. Well, I mean, if Fort Morgan's going to mess around here, wow. I mean, what are they doing? Horrendous baseball Another bad throw. I mean, you got to follow through on that. Horrendous. Fort Morgan has 3 errors in the inning. They could have been out of this already, and it's 3-2. And you got a base runner at second because we can't make throws in the infield. Yeah, that is awful. Awful. Fort Morgan with 4 errors. How are they going to come out of this one here? So here we go. Stepping in now is Dylan Jost, who popped to center his first time up. Yeah, they got to get it together. This is routine baseball. You make the plays. And the pitch. That's a strike down the middle at the knees. It's 0-1. I mean, that's the definition of a gift run, and they could pick up another run. Severance is too good offensively. The stretch. And the offering. Swinging a foul tip into the glove of Langford. It's 0-2. No balls and 2 strikes. Yeah, Wheatley's probably got an injury to his arm. That's why he's in center field, back in center. Langford in right. 0-2 pitch. Swung on, line. That's going to be a base hit into center field. I don't know why he threw that pitch. It was a fastball down the middle by Beltran. He gave him too good of a pitch there. Way too good of a pitch. Here's Austin Neely, who popped to left, and now Severance is threatening to tie the game or take the lead. But again, the first run is unearned. If any run that scores from here on out is going to be unearned because there would have been 3 outs if 3 plays are made. Yeah, this is the type of baseball that you want to avoid. Sloppy baseball on Fort Morgan's part with 4 errors, and 3 of them in this inning. The stretch and the offering. Swung on and fouled off the end of the bat on the first base side. No balls and 1 strike. I think Beltran was thinking of sneaking a fastball in an 0-2, and it came back to bite him, unfortunately. Got too much of the plate. No balls and 1 strike. Long pause in the pitch. Swing and a miss on a bender in the dirt. No balls and 2 strikes. Beltran has thrown 10 pitches, all for strikes. 0-2. At third is Ferris. Jost at first. Let's see if Jost is going to take off anytime soon. Long pause. And the pitch. That is, well, it must have been high. Wow. This is crazy. I mean, 1-2. I mean, I barely missed. Must have been a tad high. Wow, that should have been strike 3. And the 1-2 pitch. Swung on line, foul off to the first base side. Count is at 1 ball and 2 strikes. With 1 out, 3-2 Fort Morgan. The Mustangs have played incredibly awful defense in this inning. Stretch. And the offering. Swung on and lifted into shallow right center field. Langford's going to come on. Could be a play at the plate. He's got to get rid of it. And there he goes. Finally. You got to get rid of it earlier. I don't know why Cale held on to that ball. He was just running in. You get rid of that ball immediately. Hit the cutoff. He did. And the runner had to hold. But even that's a mental lapse. And there's 2 down. You can't assume because you have a great arm they're not going to try and go on you. He took 2 steps and then threw off his back foot before Bills, the first baseman, cut it off. Here is Caden Panis, reached on an air, that liner that was hit to Beltran. 3-2, Fort Morgan, bottom of the 3rd inning. The pitch, that's a fastball up and away. 1 ball and no strikes. Again, the big difference in this game, despite Fort Morgan having the lead, Severance has not committed an error. Fort Morgan has 4, and they can tie it with a base hit or a wild pitch. The pitch, swung on. That is lifted into foul territory, right side. Bills giving chase, and it's out of play. 1 ball and 1 strike. Now, you know this is a different type of season with a pandemic, but we've seen baseball lately. Rush yesterday committing 6 errors in a 12-10 victory over Valley. That's not going to cut it. And it won't cut it for Fort Morgan if those 2 Morgan County schools hope to make it to the state tournament, because they have the ability to. But you can't shoot yourself in the foot by not making routine plays. 1 ball, 1 strike. The offering. And that's down and away. No throw by Langford. A steal of second for Jost. It is 2-1. Big situation here for both sides. The pitch swung on and chopped over the mound. The second baseman, Fajardo, bobbles, throws to first, and that's going to be late. Another error, and the game is tied at 3. Wow. No RBI, and there's a runner at third. Game is tied at 3, and Fort Morgan just wants to give this away. Horrendous defense by the Mustangs with 5 errors in the game. There's no other way to put it. Here's Awoniak with a sac bunt. The stretch. And the offering. Up and in. And all you're doing, Beltran now is throwing 18 pitches. Should have been like 5 or 6 in the inning. Dropped the ball off his chest and threw to first late. Let's see if the Mustangs can keep this at 3-3. The pitch, that tails up and in, and there's only so much you can ask a pitcher. He's had 4 errors behind him, 1 followed by the other and 2 on the same play. And with your starting pitcher Wheatley out after 2 innings, you have to wonder what's happening here. 2-0. Beltran stretches. And the pitch, down and away, 3-0. And this is the number 9 hitter. 3 balls and no strikes. I don't know if they didn't get enough sleep here. Just terrible. 3-0 pitch. And that's a strike. Took a while to make that call. 3-1. They came out hitting the ball well. I mean, 8 hits is still tied at 3. You have a chance to bail yourself out. Awoniak awaits the offering. Swung on and lifted into shallow left field. The shortstop Ortega's out. He's going to make the running catch. Thank goodness somebody made a play. Thank goodness somebody made a play for Fort Morgan. A pathetic inning defensively for the Mustangs. Their worst maybe in team history. 2 runs on 1 hit. 4 errors on the Mustangs and 2 left. Just awful baseball by the Mustangs. Let's head to the 4th inning. Fort Morgan 3, Severance 3 on B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Now let's see what the Mustangs can do in the 4th inning. That was awful in the bottom of the 3rd. 3-3. Here's Colin Farley, the pitch. That's a strike. No balls and 1 strike to Farley. Had a base hit his first time up. 9-1-2. The offering. Swung on line. Base hit into left center field for Colin Farley. He is 2 for 2. Ball is bobbled out there, but he'll stay at first. How about Colin Farley? 250 coming in, 2 for 2. And Fort Morgan now has 8 hits in the game. I thought I had him with 8 earlier, but I guess that was their 8th. Here is Briggs Wheatley, singled twice, actually doubled and singled. Yeah, Mustangs got to get those 2 runs back that they gave up the pitch. Fastball is upstairs, 1 ball and no strikes. Pitch number 66 from Carson Fagan. Short lead at first for Farley, a 1-step lead. The offering, swung on, grounded right back to the mound. Could be, he throws to first, didn't have the play at second. Farley was going, it was a hit and run. Wheatley is retired, there's 1 down. Well, it's good that he was going. If not, that could have been a 1-6-3 double play. Instead, here comes Langford with a man at second and 1 down. In the top of the 4th inning, deadlocked at 3. And the line score is painful. 3 runs on 8 hits for Fort Morgan, 3 on 3 for Severance, 5 errors by the Mustangs, none by Severance. The pitch, and that's down and away. 1 ball and no strikes. Langford has singled and walked. Let's see, this is a resilient team. As bad as they looked in the bottom of the 3rd inning, they're resilient. The stretch, and the 1-0, and that's low. Like a good neighbor, Greg Mullen and his team at State Farm Insurance are there to make the insurance world easy for you. 842-4555, 2 balls and no strikes. Here to Jackson Langford. Fagan looks back. The pitch, swung on, line foul off to the right on pitch. Number 70 for Fagan. Only in the 4th. They'll ride him as long as Severance can do so. Severance came back with 2 unearned runs in the bottom of the 3rd. The offering, swing and a miss. That would have been ball 3. That ball was about to tie him up. He took a half swing. 2-2. Jack knew that was not the pitch to swing at. Let's see if he can protect here. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And the offering. And he didn't wave at it there. I don't think he waved at it. He did not on the ball in the dirt. Good job by Jackson holding up. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Again, if anything, extending the pitch count for Fagan. Langford awaits the offering, and that ball nearly hit him. It's a walk. Another walk to Jackson. He's been on base 3 times. Beltran has struck out and lined out. Looking to deliver to put Fort Morgan back in the lead. They've not trailed in this game, but they have squandered a 1-0 lead and a 3-1 lead. Left-hander steps in. Fagan looks in for the sign. The pitch. And did that ball come inside? I think it was a foul ball. Yeah. No, that ball went off the glove. That did not hit the batter. That ball did not, you got to look for an appeal. They're going to say that was a foul ball. Well, either way, I guess it's 0-1. It's a foul ball. Thought it went off it's 0-1. That looked like it went off the glove. But they've got to check. They have got to check there. It looked like it went off the glove and not the bat. But now it's going to be no balls and 1 strike. How many breaks is Severance going to get with all the errors that the Mustangs committed there? And there was no appeal there at all. No balls and 1 strike. Here to Nick Beltran. Tied at 3 in the 4th inning. The pitch. Swung on, line, base hit into center field. Let's see if that's going to score Farley. Farley headed towards the plate. The throw all the way through. He slides, and he's in there. No, they called him out. They called him out. No way. No way. Oh, my gosh, that is awful. That is awful. That is a terrible call. They've called him out at the plate. That is not, oh, he was safe. Oh, my gosh. I cannot believe they just called him out on that play. That is there is no way he was out there, but they've called him out. That'll go 8-2. Now 1st and 3rd. We're going to get that on video here. The pitch, that's a strike to Jesse Campa. I'm going to check out that video right now. I took that play. There was no way. I didn't see that one. 2nd and 3rd now. The pitch. Swing and a miss. On a ball down and in. Oh, he was safe by a mile. On the video, he got the foot in there. And the 0-2 pitch. Swung on, grounded left side in the hole. That's going to be a throw to first going to be made, and that'll be in time. Well, happy birthday. Happy birthday. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Oh. Let's go to the bottom of the fourth inning. Boy, that is a terrible call at the plate. Fort Morgan 3, Severance 3 on B106, B106.com, and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. 3-3 going to the bottom of the fourth inning. To do these games is almost painful. To see what we've seen today, a blown call at the plate. The Mustangs committed 4 errors in the bottom of the third inning, and they've contributed to Severance's success. The Mustangs have 9 hits in the game, Severance with 3. And this is one of these games you need. You need this game. And there was no doubt that it looked like Farley got in there, but nonetheless, they got to keep playing. Bottom of the fourth inning we go. And Nick Beltran will be facing Cameron Christensen. The pitch swung on and chopped to short. Frank Ortega's got it. Sets, throws, 1 out. Let's keep that going. Come on. 1 down here for Joe Tamburo, who walked and popped out. He's sitting at 0 for 1. Beltran ready. And the offering. That is a strike on the inside corner with the off speed. It's 0-1. Nick Beltran has not thrown since Tuesday, so he can throw up to 110. Swung on and popped foul. Now to play off to the right. And the count is at 0-2. Oh, that call changed everything in the inning. Everything. Every single thing in the inning. You make that and wow. And the pitch. Up and in. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Fort Morgan and Severance tied at 3 in the bottom of the fourth inning. Langford lays down the sign. The pitch. Swinging a foul, and it's caught by Langford into the glove on the strikeout. And there's 2 down. Nice job of Beltran and Langford combining on that one. 2 down here for the number 3 hitter, Carson Fagan. He popped out and grounded out. He's 0 for 2. Fort Morgan trying to make this a 3-inning game and see what happens over the final 3. Wind and pitch. That's a strike. With the off speed, the changeup. Bell tie, it's 0-1. And Nick has thrown the ball really well. Wind in the offering. Swung on line. That's a base hit into left center field. That fastball was left out over the middle of the plate. And he's got to stay away from that location. That's batting practice there. And with Hertzke coming up, a sac fly and reached on an air. He is 0 for 1. Yeah, Nick does not have a good enough fastball, at least to locate it there. Got to stay away from the middle of the plate. So Severance looking for some 2-out thunder. The stretch. And the pitch. Down and away. 1 ball and no strikes. Deadlocked at 3 in the bottom of the fourth inning. The winner of this game is in the lead in the Longs Peak lead. Or league, that is. Lead and league are 2 different words. And the offering. And that's in the dirt. 2 balls and no strikes. Might have to come in with 1. Here against this right-handed hitter, Nolan Hertzke. A 2-out single by Fagan's got him at first. He's now 1 for 3. Throw back to first. Back in diving. Mustangs have had fewer pickoff attempts at first base today. 2 balls and no strikes. Stretch. And the pitch. Down and away. It's 3-0. Bryson Ferris waits to hit next. 3 balls, no strikes. Beltran looking in for the sign. Long pause. And the pitch. And that's low. He walked him. Here's Ferris, who singled and reached on an error. There's trouble now here in the bottom of the fourth. Again, 1 pitch away from getting out of it. Get a fly ball or a grounder. All this came with 2 down, but the Mustangs still can get out of this. Ferris from the right side. The pitch. Swung on line. That's a base hit into center field. Let's see. Wheatley's going to come up with it. They're going to. Oh, and then he bobbled it in center field. Could have had a play. The run's going to score on the base hit. Could have had a play. Fagan scores. It's 4-3. Oh, had a shot there for perhaps a play at the plate, but Severance is on top. That'll bring up Dylan Jost, who's popped out and singled. And that's not an error on Wheatley, but again, you come up with that one, there's a play at the plate. And the offering. Swung on, popped up, should end the inning. Foul territory, third base side. Campa squeezes it. And that is it for Severance, but they have claimed the lead as Severance picks up a run on a couple of hits. No errors in the inning and 2 men left. We head to the 5th inning. Mustang Baseball is brought to you in part by Western Engineering Consultants. It's Severance 4, Fort Morgan 3 on B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Let's head to the top of the 5th inning. Fort Morgan trails Severance 4-3, a critical game for both teams. The Mustangs led 1-0 and 3-1. And now stepping in against Carson Fagan, who's 78 pitches deep, is Braden Fajardo, followed by Cale Langford and Malachi Bills. Fajardo with a ground out and a single. And the pitch swung on and chopped foul up the third base side. Well, let's get him to at least 90 pitches this inning. And then they go to the bullpen. 56 strikes, 23 balls. He's walked 2. Both came to Jackson Langford. And the 0-1. And that is a strike at the knees. On the outer half, no balls and 2 strikes. Yeah, Fagan wants a quick inning so he can go 7. A 2-run third tied the game. 1 in the 4th gave Severance the lead. Swung on, hit on the ground back to the mound, and that was not good. 1 down. That pitch was almost in the dirt, and Braden reached out, and he grounded it right back to the pitcher, and there's 1 down. Here's Cale Langford, who's grounded out, hit into a fielder's choice. Been frustrating across the board for the Mustangs today. But, Braden had to protect those. Swung on, grounded left side. It's going to be backhanded in the hole, but no play. It's a base hit for Langford. Cale with all that speed, not even a throw by Panis. Well, 1 on, 1 out. Yeah, that's the thing. When you fall behind in the count, Braden was going to do anything to make sure that he was going to put the ball in play, which he did. You got to give him credit there. Here is Malachi Bills, who's grounded out and struck out. Been a clutch hitter all season. 2-step lead here for Langford. The pitch. Swung on line, foul down the left side. Got out in front of that one. He tomahawked it. And it's no balls and 1 strike. You got to stay out of the double play, and that's for sure. Stay out of the double play. No balls, 1 strike. 4-3 Severance, top of the 5th inning. The wind is now picking up big time. But no threatening clouds are rolling in. 66 degrees. Throw back to first, back and diving is Langford. Yeah, the jackets. Now people are putting on the jackets. I might have to do the same here momentarily. No, 0-1. Langford with a lead. The pitch, and that's down and in. Nice read there by Bills on the breaking ball. And the count is level at 1 ball and 1 strike. Fort Morgan has trailed for the first time in the game after the 2-out rally by Severance. Runner goes, and that's down and in, and no throw. Langford with a stolen base, and it's 2-1. No, that should be a ball. That's 2-1. That's not a strike. Trying to lobby for the strike. You're not getting that many breaks. Not getting that many. So Langford in scoring position. You'll be kidding me. That thing was below the knees. 2-1. Might be down the middle, but it's below the knees. 2 balls and 1 strike. Off of second is Langford. And the pitch. Swing, and that ball's off the catcher's glove. It's a swing and a miss. And now to third is Langford. That'll be a pass ball. And now the count is at 2-2. Carson Fagan with 86 pitches in. He's got one out in the fifth inning. Fort Morgan looking for the equalizer. 2 balls and 2 strikes. The infield is playing in. Malachi's going to call time here. Either Bills or Ortega has got to deliver right now and get this game tied. Wind and pitch, swing and a miss and a ball in the dirt. They're going to have to throw all the way through for the strikeout. Oh, man, he misread that. Bills has struck out twice on that same pitch. And there's 2 down. Here's Ortega. Yeah, couldn't go after that one. Yeah, you don't want to go after those breaking pitches in the dirt, but you got to read it out of the hand. So with 2 outs, Ortega, who is 1 for 2, a home run, and he popped to center, is at the plate for Fort Morgan. Winding the pitch, and he waved at a pitch in the dirt. It's 0-1. Can't help him out, guys. They are not reading that pitch. Fagan's going to keep throwing it, and he should. No balls, 1 strike. And the offering. And that skips in. Nice play by the catcher, Tamburo. It's 1-1. That's the only risk you face if you throw those breaking balls. If you don't get it there, it could be a wild pitch, and there's been a few of them by Fagan in this game. 1 ball, 1 strike, the offering. And that one skips up the first base side. Another nice play by the catcher on the fastball. Ball 2, strike 1. Fagan now 90 pitches in. The Mustangs have 10 hits in the game, but they've committed 5 errors. Severance has 5 hits in the game, but they have not committed a miscue. 2 balls, 1 strike. The pitch, that's a strike on the inner half of the fastball. It's 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. In the top of the 5th inning, Severance leads 4-3. The offering, swung on line, and a base hit off the shortstop's glove into center field. A dive by Panis, couldn't come up with it. Scoring is Cale Langford, and it's tied at 4 in the 5th inning. And that was a bender, the 11th hit for Fort Morgan. Here is Colin Farley, who is 2 for 2. Boy, some clutch 2-out hitting in this game on both sides. On both sides. The run is not yet on the board, but it is, there you go, tied at 4. And Farley's had 2 great swings against Fagan. Short lead at first. Runner goes, the pitch is a strike, and the throw to second, the slide, the tag, safe. Game in on a hop, and it's a stolen base for Frank Ortega on pitch number 93 from Carson Fagan. Farley back in the box. Stretch. And the offering. That's a strike on the inside corner with a bender. No balls and 2 strikes. Briggs Wheatley waits to hit next. Wheatley has 2 hits today. Farley awaits. The offering, and that's down and away. Well, Fagan can pitch part of the 6th inning, not beyond that, unless he economizes his pitches in a way we haven't seen. 1-2. Farley awaits. The pitch. That is a called strike 3. That was right there, thigh high. And he goes down looking. Colin 2 for 3 after that plate appearance. It's been a good day for him despite that one. For the Mustangs in the inning, they get a run on 2 hits. No errors and a man left. 4.5 are in the books. Mustang Baseball is brought to you in part by High Plains Bank. It's Fort Morgan 4, Severance 4 on B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Deadlocked at 4 going into the bottom of the 5th inning. It'll be Austin Neely, Caden Panis, and Ryan Awuniak, the 7, 8, and 9 hitters. Against right-hander Nick Beltran has allowed 3 runs, but only 1 earned. Neely has popped out twice. This is the big inning for Beltran. You make it a 2-inning game. The 5th inning is what killed him against Mountain View. when they went up 6-5, but then again, he allowed a couple of unearned runs there. The defense has not been good today. The pitch, it tails inside. 1 ball and no strikes. Beltran has thrown 36 pitches in the game. Got to get those legs going, the offering. Swung on, lined, and that's fair down the left field line. And chasing it down is McCoy. Around first, it'll just be a single there for Neely. Held to a single. But again, Beltran gives up a lot of base hits. That's the 6th and the 4th off Beltran. A good start to the bottom of the 5th for Severance. Here's Panis. He's reached on an air twice. He's 0 for 2. Mustangs at double play depth. Go back to first, and that's off the glove of Bills. Well, they haven't had an error on a pickoff. That's been an issue this season. Is the errors on pickoffs. Before Morgan loses this game, they're going to drop in the RPI, and they're going to have to do something special to make the playoffs, and that is a tailing strike on the inner half. No balls and 1 strike. Here to Panis. Off speed, and more off speed for Nick. That's been his bread and butter. Long pause, and the pitch in the dirt. 1 ball and 1 strike. We're in the bottom of the 5th inning. Fort Morgan 4, Severance 4. As it is cooling off quite a bit here. That's because of a little bit of a breeze. Throw back to first, and oh boy, almost wide of the target. You don't want to pick off mistake. Too many of those this season. Let's see if they can set up the double play. The stretch. And the offering, squaring to bunt, and lays it down the first base side foul. So it is 1-2 to Caden Panis. Here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Austin Neely with a base hit down the left field line, and really that was a nice play there by McCoy in left field to get it right back in. Long pause to pitch. Swung on and tapped foul. That went off the hitter. Looked like it almost went off in fair territory, but it's going to be a foul ball. Count remains at 1-2. That was close. That was close. He was in the box, but definitely was close. 1 ball, 2 strikes. It's got 1 out on the board. There's nobody out in the inning. It's only the 2nd hitter. Panis awaits. The pitch. Swung on and popped foul out of play on a tailing fastball. Count remains at 1-2. Critical hitter. If you get 2 on and nobody out, then Severance feels all the momentum with a 9-hitter coming up. And the pitch, and that's in the dirt, blocked nicely by Langford. You don't want to throw a wild pitch either. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Have to get this hitter. This could be a game-changing hitter. And here in the bottom of the 5th inning, throw back to first, back in diving. 2 balls and 2 strikes. With Austin Neely at first. Langford lays down the sign. Long pause. And the pitch. That's low. Boy, he's taking too long. You take that long, it's going to be tough on the pitcher. There's no rhythm. 3-2. You got to go quickly. Take that long, and then you're really thrown off. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Got to come in with something here. Runner goes. Swing and a miss. Throw it to second on a hop to slide, and safe. It's a stolen base. But Beltran picks up the strikeout, and there's 1 down. Stolen base of Neely. Here's Awuniak. A sac bunt and a pop out. He is 0 for 1. This is your number 9 hitter. Nope. In fact, they're going with somebody else here. Oh, that. Did I miss a hitter? 5 is at second. Let's see. Yeah, I think I missed a hitter. How about that? Okay. Here's Christensen. I must have been thrown off a hitter here. Christensen steps in. So it's second. Over there is another hitter. And that breaking ball's low. This is rare that I have this issue. So Panis is at second. Awuniak struck out. The stretch. And he 1-0. Down and away. 2 balls and no strikes. Yep, I must have missed something in that lineup. So my numbers are going to be off here. 2 balls and no strikes. And I don't know the last time I missed it this bad. The pitch swung on in line towards center field. Coming on as Wheatley fields it on the hop. Runner around third. The throw towards the plate is up the third base side. Now the throw to second. And in there is Christensen. It's 5-4. Severance. A good throw. There might have been a play, but not on that one. And Severance has the lead. And here is Tamburo. So Tamburo now steps in. The stretch and the offering. That's a strike on the outer half. It's 0-1. No balls and 1 strike. 5-4 Severance back out on top. Beltran looks back. And the pitch. Fastball is upstairs. Count levels at 1-1. Okay, so it was 9-1-2. Or 8-9-1, I guess, to begin the inning, not 7-8-9. The pitch. Breaking ball is inside. Ball 2, strike 1. Gave up 2 hits to begin the inning. Still only 1 out. Severance looking for more with a 5-4 lead on their home field in the 5th inning. Beltran delivers. Down and away. 3-1. Fort Morgan does have the top of the order coming up. That's good news. I'm telling you, I'm curious about, I must have missed a hitter. I didn't have that proper order in there. 3-1. Beltran looks in the pitch. Swung on, grounder to the third. And Campa's got it. Let's see if he makes a good throw on a hop. And the ball skips away. It's another error on Fort Morgan that'll score another run. It's 6-4. And advancing to second is Tamburo. Campa's made his 3rd error of the game. Six to 4 is now the score. Wow. Too many errors by the Mustangs. That's obvious now. The pitch. That's a strike with a breaking ball. No balls and 1 strike. Here's the stretch. Oh, maybe that's what I missed. There's 2 down on the board. All right. It does say 2 down on the board. Maybe that's what I missed earlier. And the offering. Swung on, driven down the left field line, and that is twisting foul. Twisting foul, but it is 6-4. No, I think I messed it up, Kevin. I think I got something wrong here that I messed it up. But either way, 6-4 is the score. No balls, 1 strike, 2 down with a man at second. And Severance is in the lead. The Fort Morgan is going to be down to their final 6 outs here. But 6 errors in the game has pretty much cost this team. The count is at 0-2. To Fagan, the pitch, swung on, popped up, and that is out of play. Count remains at 0-2. Here to the number 3 hitter in the lineup. Carson Fagan. He's got 1 inning left for sure. Unofficial pitch count at about 56 for Beltran to stretch. And the offering. Up and in. Looking at 1-2. One ball, two strikes. Oh, this thing is not scoring right. That's the other thing. That's stuck on me. The pitch. Swung on and driven in the air to right center field. Long run for Wheatley. Still going, reaches out and makes the catch. That's the end of the inning, but Severance has tacked on 2 runs. And they lead by a score of 6-4 as we head to the 6th inning in Severance. Mustang Baseball is brought to you in part by Bank of Colorado. Severance 6, Fort Morgan 4 on B106. B106.com and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Carson Fagan on the mound here in the 6th inning. And the game is in Severance's favor right now. It's 6-4. And here is Briggs Wheatley stepping in. But again, a Mustang error. A big contributor. The pitch up and away to the screen. No balls and 1 strike. Cameron Christensen with a go-ahead hit. And then a Fort Morgan error kept this going. Wind and offering. Swing and a foul tip into the glove. And the count is at 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes, or 1-1. Skips off the glove. Now it's 2-1. Briggs Wheatley in the game has doubled, singled, and grounded out. And they need him in the worst way right now. Down to their final 6 outs. Pitch number 100 is coming up for Fagan. Swung on and popped foul, not a play off to the left. Fort Morgan led 1-0, then it was 1-1, 2-1 after 2. 3-1 after 2.5, and Fort Morgan committed 4 errors in the bottom of the 3rd inning. And then Severance tacked on a run in the 4th to make it 4-3. Frank Ortega's RBI single made it 4-4 in the 5th, and Severance back out in the lead. The offering swung on and hit foul off to the left. Let's see who they go with in the bullpen. 101 pitches thrown by Fagan. He will not be able to finish this game for Severance. Wheatley fighting with a 2-2 pitch. Here it is. Swung on and fouled on the breaking ball. Nice job of Briggs making some contact with that pitch. Remains at 2-2. Here to Briggs Wheatley. The only inning the Mustangs did not score was in the 4th inning. The 2nd inning is the only time Severance did not score. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Kicking the pitch in the dirt with a breaking ball. So Nick Beltran has allowed 5 runs, but only 2 earned. And that's been an issue. He's coming in relief. Wheatley apparently hurt after 2 innings on the mound, threw about 40 pitches. Could not continue, but stayed in the game in center. 3-2 pitch. Swung on and grounded towards right field. That's a base hit right in between the 1st and 2nd baseman. Wheatley is now 3 for 4. Nice job as Jost and Neely both dove. Could not get to the baseball. And the Mustangs now have 12 hits in the game to only 6. Make it 7 for Severance. Here is Langford. And we're going to see a pitching change at some point. 104 pitches deep. They'll ride Fagan, as I mentioned, all the way to 110. Stretch. Pitch to Jack. Swung on and fisted up the middle. This could be 2. They step on the bag. They throw to first, and that's going to be out. Are you kidding me? They called him out. A 6-3 double play. Boy, I didn't think they'd turn it on the back end. Oh, my gosh. That one hurts badly. A 6-3 double play. And there's 2 down. That was a bang-bang play at first. Here's Nick Beltran. Now Fort Morgan is really going to have to rally now. Winding the pitch, down and in. 1 ball and no strikes on pitch number 106 from Fagan. Beltran digs in, and the offering swung on, and that's lined off the pitcher towards the second baseman. Picked up. The throw to first is going to be in time. Oh, hit extremely hard by Beltran, but it's a 1-4-3 play. And because of that deflection, Fagan will still be able to pitch to at least one hitter in the 7th inning. No runs on 1 hit for Fort Morgan. No errors. And the bases were left empty. 5.5 complete. It's Severance 6, Fort Morgan 4 on B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. So incredibly frustrating this afternoon here in Severance. The Mustangs trail 6-4 going into the bottom of the 6th inning. They have out-hit Severance 12-7, but they have 6 errors to none for Severance. Jesse Camp has committed 3 of those. Swung on and popped up. Frank Ortega is the new pitcher. Nick Beltran at short. And all throwing errors. Yeah, they're going to have to do something about that at third. And Jesse made a great play against Bertha to close out that game. But his defense today, his throwing, it's just the throwing has been atrocious. The pitch, and that is inside. But again, he's committed only half the errors. There's more errors, just not one player. 1 ball and 1 strike. But if they're going to make the playoffs, they're going to have to figure out something. And Holy Family is a better team than Fort Morgan, who they play on Thursday after Tuesday's game against Northridge. 2-1, pitched down and away. Here to Nolan Hertzke. And the pitch swung on and fouled to the screen. Count is at 2 balls and 2 strikes. To Fort Morgan's 3rd pitcher here, Frank Ortega. And the offering swung on and grounded foul up the third base side. Count is at 2-2. The Mustangs will have the 4, 5, and 6 hitters in the 7th. Against a relief pitcher, Fagan can only throw about 3 pitches. Wind and pitch, swung on and popped foul, out of play. Count remains at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Ortega picked up the victory, a complete game victory against Berthoud last Thursday. Or that was actually Tuesday, excuse me. The offering bounces it in. Fort Morgan cannot afford to give up another run here. Not an option right now. Man, the way they've been hitting the ball, they could score a bunch of runs. Without a doubt. But the call at home plate was also a big one. 3 balls and 2 strikes, and we do have video of that play. And I think it shows he was clearly safe, that Farley was safe. And the 3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, and a fastball tailing in on Hertzke, and he strikes out. 1 down for Bryson Ferris. Ferris now steps in. Couple of hits in the game. Here's the wind and the offering, and that's inside. 1 ball and no strikes. Close the book on Beltran. 49 pitches, 5 runs, 2 earned. Swung on and driven to right field. Cale Langford to his left. Settles under it, makes the catch. 2 down. That'll bring up Dylan Jost. He's got a base hit and 3 trips to the plate. And again, Severance has been very opportunistic, but they've left 9 men on base. They've had their opportunities as well. So it's not like they've capitalized on everything. Ortega with a pitch. That's down and in. 1 ball and no strikes. Here to Dylan Jost. And the offering swung on line, base hit center field. They've come up with a bunch of two-out hits. That's what Severance has done very well in this game. Lots of excellent two-out hitting by the Silver Knights. And the inning continues for Austin Neely. Neely at 0 for 3. That's the 8th hit for Severance. With a man at first. Ortega stretches. And the pitch swung on and fouled to the backstop. If Severance holds on, they would go to 9-2. They would drop Fort Morgan to 7-4. And the Mustangs would be fighting for their season. They would have to not necessarily win out, but they'd have to go 4-1 at the very worst, with that one loss probably being to Holy Family on Thursday, considering that's a top 10 team. No balls and one strike. The pitch swung on and lifted into shallow left field. The shortstop, Beltran, will make the two-handed grab. And that does it for Severance here in the bottom of the 6th inning. No runs on one hit. No errors and a man left. We head to the 7th inning. Last chance for the Mustangs. The score, Severance 6, Fort Morgan 4 on B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Let's head to the 7th inning. 106 pitches deep is Carson Fagan. So he's going to be taken out of this game in this inning, unless he retires Fort Morgan on 3-4 pitches. Here's Campa's 1 for 3, struck out, doubled, and grounded out. The pitch, and that's a tailing fastball for a strike. It's 0-1. 6-4 Severance. All they need is a good closer here, and Fort Morgan will drop their 4th game of the season. Swing and a miss. I don't know what he's swinging at, a ball in the dirt. Can't read that breaking ball. That would have been good to swing at with 2 strikes. Well, he fell, just did not read the pitch. And that pitch was a 58-footer. 0-2. And Camp awaits the pitch. Swing and a miss on the same pitch. The ball is dropped. The throw to first will be made. There's one down. And Fagan now has thrown 109 pitches. He can pitch to this hitter. He can throw to this one, but they might take him out here. He's at 109 is what I've got. So he can actually throw to this hitter unless my count is short, but I think they're going to go to a closer here. They'll go to the closer, and that's Austin Neely, who will take the hill. And Fagan's gotten stronger. He's really pitched well of late. He economized those pitches, so Neely will come in. And he will now take the hill, another right-hander for Severance. And when Fort Morgan looks back at this game, they're going to know defensively they were awful. Really bad. I mean, your goal is probably to commit 1, maybe 2 errors or less, not 6. And Severance did not commit a single miscue. That's what gets you a Longs Peak League lead, which Severance is 2 outs away from. As Neely's about to complete his warm-ups, gives us a chance to tell you that engineering and consulting services for all of your projects at Western Engineering Consultants, strong commitment to their clients' needs sets them apart. Get your project started the right way. Western Engineering Consultants. Wheatley got the start. Beltran is the pitcher of record. Fajardo is grounded out, singled and grounded out. The tying run is on deck. We are 6-4 right now in favor of Severance in the top of the 7th inning. They definitely shifted that infield. Looks like Fagan is now at short. And Panis to second, and that's down and in. So those are the defensive changes there for this team from Severance. 1-0 is high. 2 balls and no strikes. Any way you can get on base to get Langford and Bills up there. 2-0 to Braden Fajardo. Kicking the pitch. That is down and in. 3 balls and no strikes. Look at Fagan in this game. He did pick up the strikeout total a bit. 6 strikeouts, 3-0 pitch. And that is on the inside corner. Wow. The extreme inside corner gave up 12 hits, couple of walks, 3 wild pitches. 3-1 here to Fajardo. It's got to be a beach ball down the middle of the pitch. And that's up and away. It's a walk. So the tying run is at the plate in Cale Langford. Boy, if you could hook it around all the way to Briggs Wheatley, you have a shot here. But he is still a few hitters away. This is the 6th hitter in the lineup. You would have to get 3 of the next 4 on base. Cale grounded out, fielder's choice, and a base hit. The pitch, and that's a strike, a fastball in the inner half. It's 0-1. No balls and 1 strike. Severance is up by 2. Those runs were scored in the bottom of the 5th inning. 1-step lead for Fajardo. The pitch, breaking ball, swung on and missed up and away. No balls and 2 strikes. The sun has disappeared, and Fort Morgan's chances are slowly dissipating. 0-2 the pitch. That is a called strike 3, inside corner at the knees on the breaking ball. And Langford strikes out. There's 2 down. And here is Malachi Bills. I think Coach Langford is lobbying for a balk. Bills has grounded out and struck out twice. He does have home run power. But the Mustangs do not have a home run this year. Fajardo with a short lead. The stretch and the offering. That's a fastball for a strike on the inside corner. No balls and 1 strike. 2 down in the 7th. Severance 6, Fort Morgan 4. Stretch by Neely, and the pitch. And the breaking ball is a little bit high, barely missed. Yeah, I think what happened when I got slightly out of order, I think an out was assigned because there was no, all of a sudden the board said 1 out and the first hitter was coming up. I think that's what happened in the 5th inning. Nonetheless, we're back up to speed here. 1 ball, 1 strike. 2 down, 1 on. Bills back in for the right side. Laying down the sign is Tamburo. The pitch, swing and a miss, the ball down and in. The runner goes to second. That's going to be late, and it's going to be off of Panis. Fajardo will hold up there. He's got a stolen base. That's the one thing Fort Morgan has done pretty well today with. They've got a few stolen bases. The Mustangs today have stolen, 3 bases. Not bad. But Bills has struck out twice and has not seen the breaking ball today. Down in the count at 1-2. Can he make the adjustment? And now he calls time. With 1 ball and 2 strikes and a man in scoring position, but the man at the plate is the one that counts even more. Fajardo off of second. The pitch, swing and a miss, and the game is over. Fajardo is stranded at second as Bill strikes out on a breaking ball. And Severance defeats Fort Morgan by a score of 6-4. We'll take a brief 30-second break and wrap it up after this. Severance 6, Fort Morgan 4 on B106, B106.com, and on the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Mustang Baseball is brought to you in part by Morgan Community College. The postgame show brought to you by MCC, here to make your dreams become a reality for both traditional and non-traditional students. Check them out at morgancc.edu. Severance wins 6-4. 6 runs, 8 hits, no errors, 10 left on base for Severance. 4 runs, 12 hits, 6 errors for Fort Morgan. That killed him. And 9 left on base. The winning pitcher was Carson Fagan. The loss went to Nick Beltran in relief of Briggs Wheatley, who was hurt after 2 innings. He still stayed in the game and played center field. Time of the game, 1 hour and 59 minutes, as the Mustangs were able to score in the opening inning on a wild pitch plating Briggs Wheatley, who doubled to lead off the game. Bottom of the first inning. The run scored by Severance came on a sacrifice fly from Nolan Hertzke off Wheatley, but the Mustangs on a 2-out home run by Frank Ortega made it 2-1, and then extended the lead to 3-1 on a run-scoring single by Fajardo in the third. However, this team came back bottom of the third inning. Bryson Ferris reached on an error. Jesse Campa made back-to-back errors as Nick Beltran allowed, and he came into the game all those runs unearned in that inning. And that's what killed Fort Morgan. Should have been a 3-1 game going into the fourth. Instead, it was 3-3. And then Severance would take their first lead in the bottom of the fourth inning. on Bryson Ferris's RBI single, scoring Carson Fagan. Mustangs on a 2-out RBI single by Ortega in the fifth, tied it at 4. But then Cameron Christensen with a base hit in the fifth inning, scoring a run, and then Joe Tamburo reached on an error, another unearned run, and that made it 6-4, and the Mustangs could not rally. Briggs Wheatley did have a base hit to begin the sixth inning, but Jackson Langford hit into a double play, and then, as fate would have it, even Nick Beltran hit a shot off the pitcher, and it would deflect to the second baseman for a 1-4-3, and the Mustangs would strand Fajardo in the seventh inning. Severance with a victory moves to 9-2. Mustangs at 7-4 will entertain Northridge coming up on Tuesday. We'll have it on B106, as well as the game next Thursday at Holy Family, and then on Saturday at home against Greeley West. The Mustangs still have a solid shot here. Their RPI is not that affected. It's affected a little bit because of the loss, but they lost to the number 15 team in the RPI. But you've got to start winning games on a more consistent basis. They did have a 5-game winning streak, and those 2 losses to Mountain View certainly does hurt Fort Morgan. We're at the top of the hour. This is Morgan County's B106 KPRB Brush Fort Morgan. I'm John Beltran with a final score once again of this afternoon's game. Severance 6, Fort Morgan 4 on B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network.